Hey Andrea, so here's the review on camp. We're just basically going to go through all the really good progress that you made. We have plenty of footage to go over, and we'll just sort of talk through everything and what I think worked well, and what I think you did well, so that you can basically go away now and just really implement and ingrain these changes. So yeah, this is the first bit of footage we had of you on the iPhone. Starting off, just like mobility and relaxation, I think was really good. But the big thing that was just jumping out to me to work on was just going to be carrying these blades, just like at a higher path so that you can square and just lift directly. And right now you're just flat and then up and then in. I think where you would find the progress, and where we did find the progress, was basically just carrying your hands lower. So just tapping down a little bit, carrying them high, and then dipping again and squaring late. So just basically tapping down more and keeping these lower and then you can lift a bit more directly at the catch. So the first thing for us was basically just finding out how can we create more space, more shape with the hands, so that your blade goes a bit higher, so that you can then square earlier and then just lift a bit more directly. But I think a lot of work that we did was basically just getting you confident doing it, getting you comfortable doing it, and just also trying to like find some ways to improve the balance. So of course, just carrying your hands would become easier. But yeah, we started with this drill. I'll just play through the meet me talking to you, so you can hear everything we were going through.
Good, really good. That was really good.
Do this one higher up. The boys in the way.
It's my dad.
Yeah, let me know what works as well for you. Really good, Andrea. Really good. See those last two there?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing it when it's the hardest.
Yeah.
When the boat's going slow as hell.
It's really hard.
Yeah, and in a crosswind. Like, literally, it doesn't get much harder to do it than in this. So really good.
So yeah, a bit of background again. We were doing the pause here. You would pause here, lower your hands down low, and then bring them back up, and then lower them again, and then slide forward from there. So that was basically just to allow you to see how much space there was with your hands, and how much lower you could go. People kind of think they normally go like this when they're sliding forward. And they go down that far because they think that's how far there is. Really, you can really go down far and still have really good balance. So, yeah, I'll play again.
Yeah, good. And again, don't worry, like, if it just slaps down to one side. Where are you? Yeah,
it was
really
good,
really good.
Yeah, and tipping around, that's totally fine.
And now exaggerate it as well, like see how low you can go with the hands. Yeah. And then don't go up as high. So go lower and then don't go up as high. Yeah. So
good.
Actually just stop there for a second as well. Do you like to have your hand in the fingers more than in the palms?
Generally,
So yeah, and then the next thing we kind of looked at as well is just to give you a bit more control, is your hand grip. So I think we've talked about it before, but essentially, you want to have control over the oars, and when your grip is like that and you're kind of holding it in the fingers, it's much harder to have like control of the oar. But when you have the oar a bit further back in your palm, it just sort of gives you that ability to like get over the handle rather than just sort of sitting there and having the handle sit here, and it's kind of like you're pushing it forward rather than having it here, so you can kind of get over it. And again, that would just really help with control, balance, and also help with connection when you go to drive. Think about like, how would you want to grip? First off, don't grip it too tight. Grip the handle like an ice cream cone. But also imagine like if you were to hang from a chin-up bar for as long as possible, how would you hold the oar? You'll find a natural way to grip it a bit better.
I'm finding I'm getting a blister here.
Is that why are you moving it because of that?
What'd you say?
So I just like your hands look like the oar looks a little bit too far back in your hand. Like I would say if you can, if your blisters are okay,
Yeah.
I would say move. I would shift it back there more.
There?
Yeah,
The
easier.
ball rather than, like,
Yeah,
So rather holding it here, putting it here?
easier to balance with your hands. I think. Yeah, you have more control.
This is right before you fell in as well.
Yeah, now let's try normal rowing, and I want to see if you can hit that same checkpoint at the crossover with your hands. Yeah, even lower. Yeah, even lower. Really good, yeah, really good. That crossover,
Yeah,
that's
good.
when you really want to be thinking about what's your hand.
If we just go back as well. There's some strokes here that you're really getting at. I wish we had the before footage. But yeah, that's really good here. Again, still work to do. Still, a bit of confidence to gain. But if we were to just pause it here and look at that space that you have under the hand, under the oar there, and under the oar there, like that for me is a big check mark. Just got very confident with it, and kind of partially why you fell in, but like that's just a sign you're doing it right.
Really good, yeah, really good. That crossover, that's when you really want to be thinking about where you're...
So one other note just to take away as well, once you get a hang of this shape stuff, is to just think about as you slide forward, coming through with your wrists a bit flatter as well. Again, maybe it's not something we talked about on the weekend. There's only so many things we could. But just think about that straight line with the wrist. It'll just help you can get more control over the handle. It'll help with balance as well.
What's your hand height like? Even lower, 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 lower. Even more, yeah. Lower, lower, lower.
Yeah, good, Andrea.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. That was your best one. No, yeah.
What we're doing right now is just creating the space for you so that when we want to, we can just turn that blade squared and continue to move forward. Before, you were just scrape, 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 and then skying in. Whereas now, we can just be high, 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 square, and then directly in rather than doing the little wave and in.
Yeah. No, maybe. Really good. No, maybe. Yeah, that was okay. Low, 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 low.
Good.
Good. Really good. That was it. No, yeah, let it go a little bit. Again, it's really tricky in the crosswind. Good. If you can do this here, you'll be able to do it in glass. Yeah, now I want you to try some pausing. So pause it like the rock over.
Yeah, I thought really good progress on day one. As we move forward, just look to ingrain this sort of pattern with your hands, this low, top down, low away, so that we can then square earlier. So moving on to the next day, I believe. So again, just starting off here, I think like maybe just at the start of the session lost some confidence, I think, to have that shape. If we just look here, maybe that's not fair of me to say because you've got your shape here, but not on the left. I think you could probably just do with tapping down more on each side, but started off okay, but it's pretty common to kind of start one step back at the start of the next session. So again, this whole time just really thinking like start the next session where you left off the session before. But for a change like this, it can take a bit of time and confidence just to build it back.
Yeah, I think you're looking a lot more loose today, which is good. I would say the purpose of that drill was to exaggerate the kind of the shape of the hand height on the way forward.
I'd actually say you could probably remember just keep moving that handle back too much in the fingers here, into the palm a little bit more with a grip.
So I'd say it definitely looks like you're getting more of it. I would say just if you could get like like kind of one more degree.
So just looking as well, like you've got the shape off the finish. You just bring, as you go out wider, you sort of like bring those blades closer to the water. But yeah, definitely
one more
getting there.
degree, or sort of like one level more. If what we were doing on the yesterday was like a 10 out of 10, maybe just go like a 6 out of 10 or something. And the other thing to think about, just hand grip as well. I would move the oar more into your palms. Yeah. That's good. Even shift it back a little bit more. It still looks quite in the fingers. Yeah, that's better. And then, yeah, that far. And if you just look at like your hand, your wrists are like, sorry, I'm pushing it over. Wrist as much. Yeah, just more control. So something to try now as well is try when you 2 checkpoints when you rock over is your hand height.
So one thing we wanted to do as well, Andrea, was just give you a bit more balance. A bit more of an ability to carry your hands lower. So the next thing we did was basically as you rock forward, as you go from here to there, that lean forward again, your mobility is really good. Just want to think about bringing your upper body weight basically down low into your foot plate when you go from leaning back to leaning forward.
How are they coming through? Yeah, that's good. And then also, the other checkpoint is going to be how you transfer your weight down low. So, like, your mobility is really, really good. Like, your roll over is really, really good. Yeah, low through. Rock over onto the feet. Yeah, that was better. You feel that swing forward, that surge when you rock forward. Oh. Sorry, I said. Yeah, good work. So I think you go a bit more space now with your hands going.
So yeah, I think just as I'm saying here, we drilled in the shape. I think like looking at this stroke. Space there, still certainly could be more space. Space here, still certainly could be more space. But what we've done now is create the room for you to square earlier so that you can just lift directly in. Because right now you're still, I would say, like leaving it, you're like, right, I'm at the catch, cool, squaring in. And what's happening, when you're here, you don't want to be giving yourself extra room. And you see, this is actually quite a good example of watch what happens when you need to turn your wrist up to square the blade right before you put it in. You're squaring, and just see there's that little bit of upper body movement there. And what happens when you do that? You just bring some of that tension into the upper body, and you take it away from your legs where you want it to be, and you just flick the forearms up, and then tension goes up here, and you're not loading as well through your hips. So the next step for us was basically just squaring earlier. The theme of the camp.
Square earlier. Yeah, even earlier. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the right idea. Let's just see if we can get 100% onto the square. Yeah, even earlier. And don't
still
worry,
leaving it too late here, I think.
Yeah, just hold on the left. Yeah, square earlier. Even earlier.
Still leaving it way too late.
If you're clipping the water when you do it, like if you're scraping the shit out of the water when you're squared, that's fine. As long as we just square, yeah. Let's try and go fully squared as well. Yeah, that's getting closer.
That was better. I think one thing that we kind of figured out that worked well for you was, while it's not the best habit, was just going partially sort of half squared, and to just get you used to the idea of getting some of the squaring done earlier. And just, I think, it was pretty scrapey, but like just looking at that catch there, like much better, much more connection, more backsplash, which is what we're after. I think, to me, that looks stiller with your shoulders. I know you're still, look at the wrist, you're still turning it right before you go in, but you've done more of the turning earlier. There's less of it to do when you get there. To me, like, that just looks more still in the shoulders.
Closer. Yeah, yeah. And just couple that with having the hands a bit lower. A bit lower with the hands, square it a bit earlier.
Lost it a bit there. Got it. See the difference between when you do it late? You're missing a lot of it. You can see you're coming in on the front of the spoon. You're not quite pushing the blade in. You're sort of going before you're locked, and then as you come through the second one, you square a bit earlier. You're creating that space on the front of the spoon because you're placing it properly. You're getting more of a direct lift up with the hands rather than before it was like there and you're pulling it in more here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is better.
What you could try out. Oh,
This is when I introduce square on right only or square on left only. Ricky's old favorite, I believe.
what is?
My glasses.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. They knew you know my men.
Don't know if we got me explaining.
Is that John? It's too annoying.
Left. So now, just when you thought you were settled.
So yeah, this is us right before, I think we did a big difference maker drill, which was Ricky, my old coach. This is basically the coaching I'm drawing now is just plagiarizing my two old coaches, but this drill, I think, rather than challenge your skill level, is mainly just to challenge your sort of like thought process towards it. And pardon my French, but as you put it, I should say, pardon your French, was a bit of a mindfuck, basically. But to just every stroke, rather than just trying to square early every stroke, thinking about when you come out, turn them both feathered. Oh no, sorry. When you come out, you keep one blade squared, and then you feather the other one. So it's square on the right only, and it will look like you'll roll through, take one blade out squared, and turn the other one feathered. And you're basically just the whole time keeping one blade squared. And then as we went on, I've already lost track. Like you start squaring, keeping the other blade squared, and then feathering the other one, and just sort of challenging the way that you think about the squaring process. I think a lot of it, to start off with, was just maybe overthinking it slightly, or just wondering what maybe just lacking a bit of confidence in it. So I think this drill of having the right blade squared only and then changing it so it was the left blade squared only, you weren't able to execute it perfectly, but you were still getting there, and you're still taking home, I think, the value of the drill. So yeah, let's just go see.
So now, just when you thought you were settled, we're gonna do it on the left now. So you're gonna switch.
What'd you say, man?
Yeah, you're getting the hang of it too much. Yeah, good. That's it. Well, actually, that was nearly a square blade stroke that you did just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That's it. Yeah, and it'll feel shitty.
Real shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, let's just look at the difference there between your catch when you do it. We just talk about that. It's much more like that direct lift. And again, we won't go into it too much in this video, but that backsplash is a sign that you're lifting right. It's a sign that you're lifting straight up with the water running underneath you. And when you go in more square, you're getting that. And then look at the difference between the right, like you're just coming in a bit late and missing that connection, whereas the left's much more in and on and locked.
You're good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, keeping
Feel like
that left.
I'm overextending with my left.
Nah, I can't see that, to be honest.
Okay. Then it's just me.
Yeah. Keep that left blade square. Yeah, right idea. And just like lean on the right, to be honest, and like give yourself the space on your left to like square it. Yeah, I think you were better at it with keeping the right blade squared.
I was.
Yeah, you're right-handed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go back to the right now. Let's try the right.
Yeah, really good with the right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Now try it with the left. Try it with the left now. And then a nudge on the left, pressure. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Good, Andrea. Yeah, you're getting it.
That is the wildest drill.
Yeah, Ricky, he had all these mad drills. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So now, last 100, try normal rowing, but just see if you can do the early square on both of them. Yeah, good.
This is where I think you got it. You were getting it.
And just help yourself, having the hands a little
Nice,
lower.
that was good.
And just help yourself,
Yeah, really
having the
good.
hands a little lower. Good, that was really good, really good. Yes!
Good.
Yeah, Andrea, really
So much
good.
better. Yeah.
Really good. And that shape is just helping you square earlier. Really good. Yes, good. Let's
And yeah, of course, as we go on, we're going to want this to be perfectly squared when you're early. Like, we're squaring early here. You're still squaring, actually, very, very early. Like, you're not even rocked over and squaring. So one thing we worked on as we went on was, like, just keep trying rowing like this, where you're basically kind of squared or half squared all the time. And just try the next step from there, but just turning feathered, keeping it feathered here, 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 and like squaring like there, but just trying to get it perfectly squared. But for me, like, this was a huge breakthrough for you, Andrea. Like, really good.
let's nail it. Last 70 meters.
Really nice. You
Give
can
your-
see that catch. Look at that catch there. So much better. So much more connected. Place again, like looking at the movement in the upper body, so much less movement in the upper body there. So much more. Head is just dead still. You're just sliding in and out with the seat, which is really good.
Give yourself a shape, square early. Good, Andrea, really good.
Yeah, huge. Huge effort.
That was it.
So that's just straight on, trying to get some different angles.
So Andrea, yeah, like as a result of you just being more prepared going into the front, like your catches are looking so much better.
Yeah, catches look so
But
much
I think
better.
still there's like still a lot we can do to improve the catch and like your prep going in, but already just like catches so much quicker, more connected. Yeah, really good. Hard on the right. Hard on the left.
What time does the boats have to be, the launch have to be back?
Andrea, that's really good.
So yeah, the big thing for us as well was like moving into the next session, making sure that you take what you were working on into the next session. I think you did a really good job. That was a huge breakthrough session for you, and this one was basically just about bringing that into your and to the next session.
See if you're just slightly behind, Jack, it's a little bit easier for the camera.
If I'm like back for it.
Yeah, just not.
Yeah, really good. I think this is basically just like ingraining the kind of the stroke.
There, Laura. That looks a bit better, Andrea.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's change the spaces.
Okay. Swearing a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing with it in the heights. And
So yeah, this is the bit where I believe we just allowed you to square earlier, but then aim to make it more squared. So less 50%. You're kind of doing 50%, 80% of the way. Let's do feather 0%, 50% of the way, and then 100% the other 50% of the way, if
the
that makes
heights,
sense.
and then forcing that square early to get used to it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. But then as a
Like
result,
finding a sweet spot.
yeah, I think as a result, you're then being like sweathered.
Yeah.
So like, let's just try and play around. We might go back to that as well. Yeah, even earlier with the square, a bit earlier with the square. There.
Still earlier here though, I think. Like this is more towards back to like where you were before. I still think you could be squaring properly earlier.
There. Now go full square, full square. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, still, that was too early actually. That's the first time I've said that on cam. Just anybody. No, it was too early square.
Early. Good.
Square earlier. Sorry, later. I'm kidding you. That was just
Earlier, later.
Yeah.
Go now.
Fraction earlier onto the full square. So get rid of that like half squaring that you do earlier in the stroke, and then go right. I'm gonna go 100% square. Yes, that was it. Good on the right. Yeah. Really good.
Coming and going here.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yeah, no, I don't know. yeah, that was good. Yeah, you
See, anytime you kind of get that where you do it and then, whoa, it goes down to one side. We do not give a shit about that. Does not matter. All that matters is your intent to make the change. Like, look, okay, right is squared early, left is squared early, your balance is down to one side, but you're making the intent. These strokes, yeah, they don't feel good, but they'll get fewer and farther between.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, you see that? You fucked up Victor going into the front, but that's fine. Yeah, I missed it there. That was the old squatter thing. Do you want me to try and get a shot that side on the both of them? That'd be kind of artsy.
It's good.
So this is the tricky point now. We're doing some 500s, and the point in these was to bring up the technical work that you're doing, bring it into a higher rate with higher intensity. So this first one, I think we talked about this, but this first one, to be honest, it was going back to the old habit. So a big thing we want to make sure we do is bring these technical changes up the stroke rates. Right now it just looks like too flat. and squaring late. So the tricky part is going to be able to do this at a high rate, which I think we did, if I can remember right. We just need to, this just needs to be, you need to be doing this earlier.
Yeah, like bringing that shape actually on that. You're gonna have more run now. Some more speed with more knowledge.
Still leaving it too late. Too flat here. You're squaring right before you put it in. Getting it there. I think you started to get it back there as you passed me. You had that idea of like turn it squared earlier. Just give yourself a bit more space there. So yeah, I think left late, and then actually you brought it in here on this one here, which is what we want. Okay, if we have to do the half square, that's fine. Ideally, we get fully squared, but that, yeah, step in the right direction. That's better. I'd say that's a bit better. You've got a bit of like time when you're squared, but you can still like look at the right. What we want, another sign is you're squared and the blade keeps moving forward, and you're squared here and the blade stops. Like you're squaring at full extension, and that just means you're gonna look at the blade path. You're going in. You're going in forward, you're not placing backwards, which is what we want. So make sure that we do this at the high rates. So the highest rate, I think this is maybe when you're doing it better. I'm going to be hard on you here and say you can do it a lot better from the paddling.
More level.
You're moving faster, you've got more speed, that means more balance. Say like here, maybe you are getting it slightly, but it is too late. I think you've got a feel for like what the catch should feel like. Your catches are getting better, but they'd still be so much better if you're coming in just a hair earlier. I think you've got the shape. You've got the space with the blades. You just need to square earlier.
That's not bad, yep.
Yeah, you still need work to do this at a high rate, if you ask me. But I mean, we've just brought on this change, but just something to be really conscious of. Like, do this at a high stroke rate.
Let's take up the speed.
So on to the work we did on the erg. So I'll just let this play, to be honest. But you can pick it up. But plenty of things here to bring into your normal rowing. So pause. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Pause in the rockover. Sorry. Yeah, and just that's gonna be something to do in your warm-ups. Mm-hmm. Pause. 2 checkpoints. Is my weight on the foot plate? Am I squeezing my glutes? Mm-hmm. And then the tricky part is maintaining that as you go forward. It's like what I was saying to Sarah, like imagine at some point it's going like that, you have to drive back. You always have to be ready to drive back. Forward, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, cool. How's that been feeling like thinking about just walking around the tomorrow?
It feels good, but I have to think about it. Because once I start thinking about it, I feel like I kind of start lifting up a little bit.
Okay.
So I just have to like really focus on the feet.
Yeah, Yeah, sounds good. I think there's one thing to maybe go try. I think, like, being so, I'm not saying this to Lynn, when you're more stretched from the glute, like, it's so much harder to activate. So when you're really rocked over, which I think is good, it's just when you get here, it's so hard to squeeze it. It's like tense your bicep when you're like that, or tense your bicep. It's much easier to do it when it's shortened. And when you're like stretched like that, your glute is like stretched all the way like that, versus like that. So yeah, well, so I think for you it might be still so you can get more glute engagement in the catch. So one of the drills to try is just the same one, the standing one. They're doing it with a few of them. So feet out. Yeah. On the ground. Yeah, sorry, on the ground. Yeah. And then handle down. And then just sit here, and then two like the rock over, 2 checkpoints. Weight on the foot, on the feet. Squeeze your glutes, and it doesn't have to be a stand up. It literally just have to be up down, like even just half an inch. Yeah, and try and do it with as little like lean forward as possible. Like just challenge yourself to see how little walk forward you can do it with.
So straight.
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening is I'm putting the weight on the heels, not on the ball.
And yeah, that's actually a sign. Yeah, you're getting it. I think because if you go forward more, you're going more onto your feet.
Yeah.
So like it's almost sitting back. Yeah, maybe just. Yeah. Okay. And just try and slow it down a little bit more now. And don't worry if you get your weight off the Z. Like even if there's just an attempt to like just have a slight shift into the foot plate. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know if you're in here, Martin.
Yeah, good.
I had Dan write those down for me yesterday. Writing notes from. Are you going to do it over and we're done?
Yeah, sweet.
Grab a pen.
Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, now try that with the drive. Same idea. Forget that there's a handle, forget your feet are in here. Imagine you're still trying to do that same thing, stand up. But when you feel that stand,
The first night.
stand and keep standing up. Don't just like go, oh cool, I'm up, and then go back down and just go down. Like,
Go all the way.
stand, like that.
I was like, okay.
Feet in or out?
Feet strapped in here.
I actually took time on this one.
About the pressures.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that was good though. That was a sign you were doing it right, just less. Yeah. Lynn, actually, could you seat down there? Thank you. Yeah, so go again. Yeah, good. And then just see that lift that you had off. Just try and keep it all the way here when you're extended. Yeah. Stand drive. Yeah. And if you see this kind of that like, oh shit moment where you realize, just try and make it a bit more like whoosh. Yeah, and just like less, like almost like less grabby as well. Like it doesn't have to be everything you've got. Like it's just like feel build. Yeah, that was better. Yeah, even like that. There's still a bit of a jerk. Like just, it's like a squeeze. Like yeah, that's better. That's better. You've got a heavy resistance, so it's still that idea of standing, being strong, but like not trying to break anything. Because you're here, your oars are like that. Like you can whack it, but you're not going to go anywhere. That's looking better. It's sounding better as well. How's that feeling?
I can definitely feel the difference in my feet and my glutes.
Yeah. The other thing as well, just look at like as you open here, still have the idea, don't bring your weight down and compress. Like still hang here and through the feet. Oof, like that. Yeah, oh yeah, so that's good though that you're getting like that's you definitely you're not afraid to like go full in on a drill. Just means you might end up upside down sometimes, so it's just not a problem. No, it's good though, it's good to have that like not like no fear with it. Yeah, so just like again, just play around with like how it's just like squeeze, like you're not trying to like break anything. Oh, grip a bit further back with the palms in there. Yeah, try that.
Literally like crunchy gum.
Yeah. That feels like you're like you look like a kid like You're like, oh, what was that?
It was a little different.
This is right down.
Yeah, that's better. That was better. Yeah.
The whole handle grip thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to wear it.
That was like better than bigger.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it does, yeah. I think that was the missing piece.
And that was definitely a good
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if my thumbs are on popcorn and it's on the bottom.
I was always told under, but I don't know. Like your sculling, like it's not really either, is it? So
Right.
I guess like if you're ever gonna do sweet, maybe under. But sculling doesn't really matter.
She had blood everywhere and just like,
It's comfortable, I suppose.
That looks really good. Let's roll that, like, let's roll that pattern in for like 30 seconds. But otherwise, like, really good. Now, let's actually try it. Let's actually it's really harder than the rest of this. It's still the same idea. Yeah. Yeah,
immediately
that's something good. So you're probably pulling on there. But, like, chicken wing will be in UT2. Like, can you do that same idea of lift when you're trying to, like, stay in the training zone? It'll be easier on a 30 legs money.
Yeah.
But,
Where I don't have to just maintain.
yeah. It's like trying to do that while doing it easy. Yeah, I think you try the low maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do that in the boat, you'll feel it. Again, when you get that right, like a good catch, like, the feedback you get from the boat is like so nice. Yeah, really good work. So for you to work on, walk over, weight here, glutes on, and then just another thing to try is that stand. I really like that standing drill.
That's a good one. It's also just, it's a good strengthener.
Yeah. And then homework like Aaron, anytime you're standing out of a chair, you're taking
Just
the
give
count.
it, give it time.
Be a loser. What do you do?
Every little bit of strength training, right?
Yeah.
You still have
Again, so like we kind of brought in some challenges here, really wavy conditions, and then also some higher rate work. And naturally, it's going to be harder to get shape. It's going to be harder to square earlier. So I think you've got some really good base work here. You just need to really challenge yourself and make sure you're on it for bringing it into the higher stroke rate and bringing it into the choppier conditions. And you get this right in the choppy conditions, it will help.
Just introduce a fraction earlier on the square now with these choppy conditions. Maybe not in the head one, but
grip's looking better.
Play around with it.
Yeah. So. Really good work. Like started off with really good mobility, good length, good sequencing. What needed work was the space, the shape of the hands to allow you to square earlier to get a more connected catch. The way we got there, and some things that you can take with you now going back into your training on your own and keep sending through the tech reviews as well, so we can check in on this. Pause at the rock over and check your weights on the foot, your glutes are on. You can do that on the erg as well. And then also pause on the rock over or pause the half slide and do the wave drill. You push your hands down, bring them back up. Doing the square on the right only, square on the left only, I think that really worked well as well. So if it's safe to do so, I would do that on the single, the half squaring, the squaring early, and then the stuff on the erg as well. Just again, similar to the boat, transferring the weight onto the foot plate, squeezing the glutes, but then that idea of standing all the way through the drive, I think you're getting a really good hang of that. Yeah, again, also just like not trying to do too much work at the catch, but just a bit more of like a gradual sort of build. Yeah, going away into the drill, just keep into the boat on your own. Just keep doing the pausing of the rock over, the wave with the blades, the square on right only, square on left only, squaring early, the half square as well. I think the huge thing for you is going to be, can you take it up to high stroke rates? Can you bring it in when the waves are a bit more choppy? But really, really good work, Andrea. Had really good fun. You brought on loads of the changes, and yeah, excited to see where you take this. Now it's just about ingraining it. You've got plenty to work on. But yeah, cheers.